Ma'am, it's live now. You can start, ma'am. Purvi, ma'am.
Good evening, everybody. We are so sorry we couldn't keep up our promise last Thursday. We had a technical glitch, but we are here today and very excited to welcome you all to this new series that we intend to start, which is premiering today. And this right now online are the three RSSDI social media team leaders. That's Dr. Shalini Jaggi, Dr. Amit Gupta, and myself, Dr. Purvi Chawla from Mumbai. Uh, okay, hang on. I'm getting a call from the president of RSSDI. Let's see what he has to say. Hello. Hello. हाँ, we are already online. आप join कर लीजिए.
Dr. Shalini, since you are the executive council member also, and I will request you, let me introduce Dr. Shalini Jaggi. Dr. Shalini Jaggi is our executive council member of RSSDI, and she is a very, very active professional who is working in the field of diabetes. She has many awards and many accolades to her name. And this RSSDI program of connecting with the masses is also one of his idea on which we are working. So I will request Dr. Shalini Jaggi to briefly talk about the this program, why we have started this program, who at all are going to get benefit from this program.
Hello, friends. Good evening. So, welcome to Diabetes Bites. We all know social media is very, very important today because today, especially in these days when we are all sitting in lockdowns, containment zones because of the COVID things. So, this is just hello, Sarita ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening, Dr. Bajaj.
So friends, this entire initiative was taken at the behest of our president, Dr. Banshi Sabu, because we thought what best way of connecting everyone when we are all restricted to our homes. So we thought of starting this talk show. This is just a basic talk show where we will have KOLs every week coming in discussing different aspects of diabetes. So we will have people from all over India connected every
Yes.
week, and Dr. Purvi and
I think
Dr.
Dr.
Banshi is
Banshi
coming
Sabu is
online.
right here.
Hello.
Good
Hello, good
evening,
evening.
everyone.
Very good evening.
How are
Thank
you?
you.
Good
All good,
evening,
all
And
good.
thank
good
you
evening,
for
everyone.
joining.
No, I was waiting, to join
Great.
So,
you.
Dr.
I think we are just telling our audiences that technical glitches are very much in vogue, and just with a little persistence we can get over them and do connect with the audience. So, without much ado, I would love to welcome Dr. Banshi Sabu and the president of RSSDI. I've already introduced our social media team leaders, and I would hand over the baton to him after I introduce him formally to introduce our very two special guests, Dr. Sarita Bajaj, madam, and Dr. Shalini Jaggi. So, let me share the screen. Is that visible
Not yet, ma'am.
now?
No.
Still
So
no?
it's okay. Dr. Banshi can introduce.
Okay.
Ma'am, you can
So,
introduce.
okay.
Can
So,
I, madam?
okay. So, Dr. Banshi Sabu, Chairman and Chief Diabetologist at Diabetes Care and Hormone Clinic at Ahmedabad, who has several academic fellowships from prestigious institutions in the US and UK. He is currently the president of RSSDI and RO in India, secretary of DASG, DI, IAD, name it, and he's there. He has launched several important projects. His vision for diabetes free India is very well uh, evidenced in the program that he launched. And among other accolades and awards, he has received the most impactful healthcare leader by World Health and Wellness Congress awards. He's I can go on, and this whole show can be about him alone. He is such a vibrant personality and a go getter. But I think, above all, he's a people's president. I can very, very comfortably say that. With that, I welcome Dr. Banshi Sabu and a few
Thank
words
you,
because
Purvi.
this has been his baby, the whole social media initiative, along with Dr. Sanjay. And I'd like him to say a few words.
First of all, thanks Purvi for very kind introduction, and I am really thankful to all three of you. It was not our baby; it was all we all thought of together that we will have our RSSDA social media. We have Dr. Shalini. She is a executive member of our RSSDA national board, and along with her, Dr. Purvi Chawla, very active on social media, a consultant diabetologist from Mumbai, and Dr. Amit Gupta, who is consultant diabetologist from Noida. And they like the idea that we should have our social media. The idea of doing a RSSDA social media page and we should do some activity is primarily, we want that RSSDA should be also recognized more, and at the same time, diabetes awareness should also increase in our country more and more. As we know that we are second highest in the world to have highest number of persons with diabetes, but the issue is 50% of them are not knowing. You'll be surprised. Just before this, actually, I was little delayed because one of the very young boy who had come to my clinic is only 17-year-old and very obese person, and I just took his sugar and HbA1c. The A1c came 9.4 with the sugar, random sugar of more than 252. So I mean, this is the normal situation. Many of them, they don't know about the diabetes, so we should increase the awareness not only for the early diagnosis, for the prevention of complication, but also for the purpose of increasing the diabetes awareness for the prevention of diabetes itself. Today we have very leading personality. She is an endocrinologist, she is a diabetologist, she is the director and professor and head of medicine from MLN Medical College, Prayagraj, Allahabad, Dr. Sarita Bajaj. She was past president of RSSDA. She was president in 2016 and 17. Before that, she was also president of Endocrine Society of India in 2010 2011. She is a founder president. She is the one who had created a South Asian Federation for Endocrine Society. So all South Asian countries have a Federation of Endocrine Society, and that is known as SEFIS. And she was there from 2013 to 2015. It was her brainchild only. She was editor in chief for Endocrine Society of Manual of Endocrinology, a textbook which is coming from Endocrinology Society on first and second edition. She had got Lifetime Achievement Award from Diabetes India for her outstanding service in the field of diabetes and metabolic disorder. She is also one of the founder member along with Dr. Shaukat Sadikot in Diabetes India. She also get Lifetime Achievement Award in contribution from Uttar Pradesh Diabetic Association. She delivered several prestigious orations. She established Diabetic Education Foundation, Prayagraj. Her area of interest is diabetic education, thyroid growth. She had published more than 200 papers in national and international journal and many chapters in book. She is the one who is very well known across the country in the field of diabetes and endocrine. Madam had done her DM endocrinology from All India Institute of Medical Science, New Delhi. She had got multiple fellowships, and she's very active in the field of diabetes in endocrinology. Even she was the past president of RSSDA, but actively involved with all the activities of RSSDA. And today we thought when we are going to do a RSSDA social media page on a first edition, we should have Dr. Sarita Bajaj, our first lady president of RSSDA, and to co-host we have Dr. Shalini Jaggi. She is a very active executive member of RSSDA. She is also the only woman in the RSSDA executive member presently. And to host her, we have from RSSDA social media page Dr. Purvi. She is very active in RSSDA, particularly on this social media front. So it is really great pleasure that today we have all three women, and it's our lady power. that from the RSSDA, they will be there today on our Facebook page to discuss about the diabetes, to increase the awareness in the society for diabetes, and we'll be very happy to listen them today. And I'm sure other executive members of our RSSDA also joined. And once again, thanks, Dr. Amit, for joining me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Banshi.
Do we have Sanjay or should I introduce Shalini?
Please go ahead and introduce Shalini because Dr. Sanjay is going to be delayed.
Shalini is very, very close to me. As we tell always, Sarita Didi, Shalini is like younger sister to me. So Shalini is very close to us. And she is a little sister of our whole group executive member. You know, madam, after you left, we have one more sister with us in our executive committee. Dr. Shalini is a consultant diabetologist. She have got fellowship of Royal College of London. She is Glasgow and Edinburgh. She is a fellow of American College of Endocrinology. She is the executive member, as I already told you. I just wanted to, her new clinic name I wanted to know, actually Life Care Clinic. Am I right, Shalini?
Yes, sir. Life Care Diabetes.
Yes, it's a Life Care Diabetes Center which she just opened, but she is very active online consultation. She is having many patients, many papers, very actively involved in all RSSD activities. She had written multiple chapters and actively involved in research as well as in education. And her major interest is like GDM, which is gestational diabetes mellitus, where madam is also having the interest. So diabetes and women is a common topic, but she's also actively involved in technology. She is the one who is using highest number of patients on a continuous glucose monitoring, maybe from Delhi. So we have great pleasure today that we have Dr. Sarita Bajaj, past president of RSSDI, with our active member of executive committee, Dr. Shalini, who will be there, and then we have Dr. Purvi, who is going to host them. Over to Dr. Purvi. Thank you once again. Thank you both of you to join for this. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your words of encouragement. It's often said, when you educate a man, you educate a man alone. But when you educate a woman, you educate a generation. So that is the strength of women leaders. And we want to leverage that in diabetes education and awareness. So with that, I once again welcome Sarita Bajaj ma'am and Dr. Shalini Jaggi. Both of them are I'm in awe of both of them. Ma'am, when I saw you on the stage in Bhubaneswar, I was like a little girl with twinkling eyes, just staring at you that, wow, what a personality and what a command over everything else. So as a first president of our female president of RSSDI, it must have felt really special. Do you want to share some thoughts around that, ma'am?
I think there is a time for everything in life. So anyway, of course, I must thank RSSDI for this opportunity. Banshi for those very, very kind words, and you, Purvi, as well for your very, very sweet appreciation. Like I said, there is a time for everything. And as I think Shalini will realize, that once you're in the executive committee, it takes definitely a certain number of years. You just can't step in and become a president overnight. So you just have to work your way through RSSDI, and anything is possible. Anything is possible, and all the executive committee members are wonderful people. Some of them are still there when she was there, and I think Shalini came in later. But a lot of the EC members, when I was there, were there, and it was very, very supportive. And I think time, you just have to wait for time. And of course, maybe I did work a little. Maybe I think I did work a little for it.
Purvi, I must say that Sarita ma'am has led by example. I am so much in awe of her because during her tenure as president, She has come out with so many position statements, documents, books, guidances. So it's a real benchmark, on what a woman can do when she's determined, when she's set to do something, she goes around and does it. And like my ma'am said, it takes years. She has shown that in 1 year, with all the hard work, sincerity, and dedication, you can achieve whatever you want to do. And Sarita ma'am, we really appreciate you for that.
Thank you. Thank you. And it is a post that is not always 365 days. Though we say it is a year, because it's from one conference to the other. And sometimes conferences are a little earlier, sometimes they are later. So it may be plus, it may be minus. But it's usually around 365 days. There have been some lucky people who have had 2 tenures as well. So that is a possibility. But I think in this day and age, it would be extremely unlikely. Extremely unlikely. Most
Ma'am,
of us
only a
have had one.
workaholic. Ma'am, only a workaholic like yourself or a dedicated, passionate person about work can say that, lucky people got 2 years of tenure. Otherwise, everybody would be waiting for completing that term and handing it over to the next incoming president. But
But
that's
see,
very, very.
in the last, I think almost RSSD is almost going to be 50 years old. So in this last half a century, about 40 presidents have shaped it into the colossal giant that RSSTI is today. So we cannot neglect. We cannot look back and say, "Ki, look, it's one person, one man, or one woman show." Everybody has contributed down the line. And you yourself said, having Banshi as the president at the helm of the affairs is, I think, it's a dream come true for RSSDI, because his experience, his expertise, and his like go-getter, that's the right word. He knows exactly what to do for whom and for the society, of course. So he is a real boon and an absolute gem to have in RSSDI as the president. And the current EC, of course, like I said, I was very lucky, but I'm sure the present EC, which includes some of the earlier members, brilliant. They are really leading it and taking it forward. So I'm very happy that RSSDI is where it is today, and it's very, very firmly entrenched, and it's one of the largest bodies in Asia, one of the largest diabetes
That's true.
bodies, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am. With almost 8,000 members that our SSDI has, it was clearly felt that, with no social media presence, uh, and, sporadic emails coming from the secretariat, I think people are not really aware of what RSSDI has been doing at the ground level, or what the potential it has to even percolate more knowledge, more awareness, more education to the lowermost healthcare providers in the entire system. So I think with that, this is going to be a very, very active and a very useful medium to spread our messages and our informative tracks. So with that, I'm going to jump right into some statistics as to, because this is supposed to be, besides the inaugural session, it's going to be focused on diabetes and women. So how many women do you think in the world are living with diabetes, and do you think that diabetes is more common in women, and if so, Shalini, maybe I'll request you to jump in. Why do you think the risk factors are so many, and why do you think it's more common in women?
Purvi, see, there are no exact figures available that say that it is more in women or men. The whole thing is that yes, diabetes is an epidemic, just like we're in the middle of a pandemic of COVID, which is an acute pandemic. I think diabetes is a chronic pandemic that we have been facing for almost last 50 years. And unfortunately, in India, we are just second in the world to China as far as the numbers of people with diabetes are concerned. And what is most concerning is the fact that there's still a higher proportion of people who are pre-diabetics. Pre-diabetic means people who do not even know that they may turn diabetic in the future. So when it comes to putting women in focus, I think the problem is women somehow have always taken a backseat. When it comes to health priorities, I think, for a woman, the whole world is centered around her family. So half of the time the women don't go out and get tested. Half of the time they ignore their symptoms. They do not really step out and say, I have a problem for which I immediately need to consult a doctor. So there's a large proportion of women who are still undiagnosed. And the problem is, as far as women are concerned, because of our hormonal makeup, because of so many other factors, we have a higher risk of not only getting diabetes, but these heart attacks in diabetic women are much more compared to men. So that is why I think it's high time that women also understand that this is an important aspect and they really need to be aware of their health in terms of not only preventing diabetes, but if they have diabetes, of managing it properly.
See,
Well,
Purvi,
Saeed, uh-huh.
about, yeah,
Thank you,
currently there
ma'am.
are about 200 million women in the world with diabetes.
Yes.
And like we always say, what's going to happen in 2040? Well, we never know. It's predicted that will be around 320 million.
That's
Whatever
a
data
huge.
is there, it says that it is a little more common in men as compared to women. But like Shalini said, it's very, very much more serious in women. Serious in women as far as the fact that it is the ninth leading cause of mortality in women. That is diabetes. The chances of having a myocardial infarction or heart attack is 4 to 5 times. And it is the most important cause of heart failure in women. So that is why it's more, even though I said numbers a little more in men, but it is much, much more serious in women. And there are several reasons for it. It could be socio-cultural or hormonal or psychosocial, emotional. There are a lot of reasons why it is there, apart from the risk factors. There are some modifiable and some non-modifiable risk factors um, which which can we can go into greater detail. But it's definitely a great, and especially after menopause, especially after
Yes.
menopause in women
Yes.
when they lose their effect of the protective estrogens. As far as
So
I think the non-modifiable factors are, we know age you can't change, sex you can't change, even birth weight. Birth weight, we're walking a tight rope because you should not have an underweight or an overweight baby. So between 2.5 to say 3.5, but definitely not more than 4 kilograms by any means. Then with the modifiable factors, I've always put smoking first because smoking is something I think even women are smoking these days, if I'm not wrong. And that's
yes,
something
ma'am,
you can
that's a
stop
very
immediately.
valid point. And women are
You can stop
smoking much more
immediately.
than men. Right.
Isn't it? So that is something you say, okay, I stopped today and you stopped it. But you say, will I control my diabetes today? It will take time. It sometimes take forever even to control. So if you have diabetes, if you have hypertension, if you have dyslipidemia, of course, if you're inactive, you're stressed, and there's a lot of stress these days. So plus the specific factors in women are polycystic ovarian syndrome,
Hmm.
and which what concerns all of us today, which we cannot neglect, is gestational diabetes. So these two are very, very specific risk factors in women alone. All the others are common, but these are very, very specific risk factors. And
Ma'am,
wait.
that's
What he just told you. What example did he give you? This is a common scenario today. Even if that child was not having diabetes, the obesity would still have been a major
and
concern.
that's an increasing problem in younger adults or adolescents also. And I'll show you in a bit. I have all your public health campaigns and
Yeah,
pictures of both of you. So I'd like you to elaborate on that. But just I think you made
sure.
a few very, very important points, and I want to just take a short. I want to park at gestational diabetes. एंड जस्ट शालिनी, आप अगर थोड़ा उस पे एलैबोरेट करेंगे, जेस्टेशनल डायबिटीज क्या होता है? व्हेन वी टॉक टू पेशेंट्स, वो समझते हैं कि ये खाली प्रेगनेंसी का है, तो फिर
Yeah, that's
थोड़े
very
महीने थोड़ी डाइटिंग कर लो, थोड़ा फॉलो करो वो सब, एंड देन यू नो एवरीथिंग गोज आउट ऑफ द विंडो। वी ऑल नो दैट एज प्रैक्टिसिंग डायबिटोलॉजिस्ट। पर आपके क्या विचार हैं इस पे कि किस तरह से हमको काउंसल करना चाहिए जेस्टेशनल डायबिटीज के लिए? बिकॉज वी हैव अ लॉट ऑफ यू नो जनरल पब्लिक आल्सो लॉग्ड इन, so you know what would your advice be to them besides the physicians?
सी पूर्वी, टेलिंग यू वेरी सिंपली इन सिंपल टर्म्स, जेस्टेशनल डायबिटीज क्या है? जब आप प्रेग्नेंट होती हैं, अगर आपको बैकग्राउंड में रिस्क फैक्टर्स प्रेजेंट हैं, विच मीन्स मे बी आपकी फैमिली हिस्ट्री है डायबिटीज की, आप ओवरवेट है, या आपकी एज ज्यादा है, या पिछली प्रेगनेंसी में आपका जो पहला बेबी हुआ है वो ओवरवेट बेबी हुआ है, ऐसे बहुत से रिस्क फैक्टर्स हैं। हमारा जेनेटिक रिस्क है, जो हम एशियन इंडियन विमेन हैं, हमारा एक इनग्रेन्ड जेनेटिक रिस्क है कंपेयर टू दी वाइट विमेन, कि क्या होता है प्रेगनेंसी में, जब प्रेगनेंसी को सस्टेन करने के लिए जो हार्मोन्स बनते हैं, वो हार्मोन्स स्पेशली जो आपका सेकंड ट्राइमेस्टर जब शुरू होता है वो पीक करना शुरू करते हैं, और थर्ड ट्राइमेस्टर आते आते काफी पीक करते हैं। तो ये हार्मोन्स बेबी की ग्रोथ के लिए और आपकी प्रेगनेंसी नॉर्मल सस्टेन हो उसके लिए बहुत जरूरी है। लेकिन इस प्रोसेस में क्या होता है, ये हार्मोन्स आपकी बॉडी में इंसुलिन रेजिस्टेंस बढ़ाते हैं। अब इंसुलिन रेजिस्टेंस अगर मैं सिंपल टर्म्स में बताऊं तो इंसुलिन का बेसिकली क्या काम होता है कि जब भी आपके ब्लड में शुगर की लेवल ज्यादा हो जाती है, तो इंसुलिन एक हार्मोन है जो आपके पैनक्रियाज सिक्रीट करते हैं, और इसका काम है कि ब्लड में से शुगर को उठाना और अलग अलग ऑर्गन में डाल देना। क्योंकि मान लीजिए शुगर हमारी बॉडी का पेट्रोल है, तो जैसे गाड़ी पेट्रोल के बिना नहीं चल सकती है ना, तो वैसे जब तक शुगर सेल्स के अंदर नहीं जाएगी तो वो सेल्स फंक्शन नहीं कर सकते हैं। ठीक है, तो जब भी आपकी ब्लड ग्लूकोज बढ़ती है, पैनक्रियाज को सिग्नल जाता है कि इंसुलिन चाहिए, शुगर बढ़ गया, पैनक्रियाज इंसुलिन भेजते हैं, वो आता है और वो उस शुगर को उठा के अलग अलग सेल्स में डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर देता है, जिससे आपकी ब्लड की शुगर की मात्रा नॉर्मल रेंज में रहती है। अब जेस्टेशनल डायबिटीज में क्या होता है, जो ये हार्मोन्स बन रहे हैं प्रेगनेंसी को सस्टेन करने के लिए, ये क्या करते हैं, ये बॉडी को इंसुलिन रेजिस्टेंट बना देते हैं। यानी कि अब क्या हो रहा है कि जब भी आपने कुछ खाया फॉर एग्जाम्पल, तो आपके ब्लड की शुगर बढ़ गई। अब पैनक्रियाज को सिग्नल गया कि इंसुलिन भेजो, शुगर बढ़ गई है, पैनक्रियाज ने इंसुलिन भेजा, लेकिन इंसुलिन आने के बावजूद भी जब वो शुगर को सेल्स में डालने की कोशिश कर रहा है, तो हमारे जो ऑर्गन हैं वो उसे एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर रहे। ठीक है, तो ये जो ऑर्गन्स हैं जैसे लिवर हुआ, तो ये सब हमारे ऑर्गन्स जो हैं ये इंसुलिन रेजिस्टेंट हो रहे हैं। तो अब क्या है, शुगर की मात्रा ब्लड में बढ़ती जा रही है, तो अब पैनक्रियाज को वापस सिग्नल जा रहा है, अरे भाई इंसुलिन भेजो, शुगर बढ़ रही है। लेकिन पैनक्रियाज जितनी भी कोशिश कर ले, कितनी ज्यादा इंसुलिन, प्रेगनेंसी में हमारी इंसुलिन ऑलमोस्ट 200 गुना बढ़ जाती है इंसुलिन प्रोडक्शन, लेकिन फिर भी इन विमेन में जिनमें ये रिस्क फैक्टर प्रेजेंट है, इतना इंसुलिन बनने के बाद भी शुगर की मात्रा नॉर्मल नहीं हो पाती, क्योंकि वो शुगर सेल्स में नहीं पहुंचा पाती, इंसुलिन इनइफेक्टिव हो रही है। इसे हम इंसुलिन रेजिस्टेंस कहते हैं। तो नॉर्मली 24-26 वीक्स ऐसे टाइम के प्रेगनेंसी में, और इंडियन विमेन में तो एज अर्ली एज 14 to 16 वीक्स देखा गया है कि शुगर की मात्रा बढ़ जाती है, और कितनी भी इंसुलिन बने वो शुगर्स को नॉर्मल नहीं कर
और
पा रही है।
बहुत लड्डूस भी खिलाए जाते हैं, तो
हाँ, एक
खाने
तो
पीने
हमारा
में भी
जो
ध्यान
इंडियन
रखना
कल्चर है ना, आप नॉर्थ इंडिया, साउथ इंडिया कहीं भी जाओ, जैसे ही आप कंसीव करती हैं तो खुशी का माहौल हो जाता है ना, कि आप
राइट।
आप अपना वंश बढ़ा रहे हो। तो दैट इज द टाइम जब दादी नानी सासू माँ मम्मी आपको घी की पिनियां खिलाएंगे, काढ़े, सब कुछ वो घी एंड हेवी हाई ड्राई फ्रूट्स और सब खिलाएंगे। तो अब क्या है, ऑलरेडी बॉडी में हार्मोन्स बढ़ रहे हैं, इंसुलिन रेजिस्टेंस आ रही है, ऊपर से हमारा खाना भी ऐसा गड़बड़ हो रहा है, बैकग्राउंड में हम ऑलरेडी ओवरवेट हैं या हमारे में रिस्क फैक्टर्स प्रेजेंट हैं। तो जब ये सब मिल जाते हैं तो क्या होता है कि प्रेगनेंसी में आपकी शुगर बढ़नी शुरू हो जाती है, जिसे हम
राइट।
जेस्टेशनल
तो
डायबिटीज कहते हैं।
दैट्स अ वंडरफुल एक्सप्लेनेशन शालिनी, और आई एम श्योर हमारी ऑडियंस को वो ठीक से समझ में भी आ गया कि क्या होता है एग्जैक्टली और क्यों होता है। एंड आई थिंक जस्ट टू ऐड टू दैट, एक और चीज़ है कि अभी रोल रिवर्सल बहुत हो गया है सोशियोलॉजिकली। आई थिंक औरतें पढ़ती हैं, उनको अपना करियर परस्यू करना होता है, नौकरी करती है, काम करती हैं बाहर। सो यू नो दैट चाइल्ड बर्थ इज नो लॉन्गर इन द 20s, इट मे बी मूव फॉरवर्ड टू द 30s, एंड देन विथ secondary infertility setting in, a lot of them are just going for
स्ट्रेस,
fertility
इतना
treatment.
स्ट्रेस है लाइफ
Stressful.
में, a woman has to balance work, balance home, balance office, balance the family. So all these factors,
So
they lead to all these risk factors.
Exactly. So GDM is on the rise. मैम सरिता बजाज मैम, आपसे मुझे पूछना था कि for your PCOS patients who are somewhat on that spectrum of PCOS and GDM and maybe diabetes, आप when do you think we should intervene and how soon should we intervene, and uh, what is your what is your counseling for those kind of patients?
Yeah.
Like,
So
do you
first,
try to, because a lot of time, the place I'm coming from, I just want to say that a lot of times, we lose patients because if you try to make them really aware that they are on that spectrum and that risk is going to increase, then they just change the doctor because they don't want to listen to the fact that they are at an increased risk throughout their life. So that life cycle of a woman, and especially starting with overweight in the adolescents, who I want you to hear your thoughts on that entire spectrum of how a woman
so
is exposed.
see what you said, I think is the crux of the matter. That we are marrying later and later, and it's not just marrying later, but have children still later. So it's really, really way either very late 20s or 30s by the time this happens. And what you said, we've forgotten about the earlier pandemics. I think the COVID itna chhaya hua hai कि I think it's just covered everything, our body, our brain, everything. We're just thinking COVID. We've forgotten about the other pandemics, in other words, diabetes and obesity. Isn't it? When we were talking of those chronic lifestyle problems, we were focusing on diabetes and obesity, and now somehow it's just not being discussed any longer. So, see, 2 out of 5 women are in the reproductive age group. 1 out of every 7, मतलब 7 में से 1 प्रेगनेंसी जेस्टेशनल डायबिटीज होने के चांस होते हैं. और केवल जेस्टेशनल डायबिटीज, जैसे अभी आपने कहा, प्रेगनेंसी हुई, बच्चा हुआ, कहानी खत्म होगी. नो, it's not like that. It's 20 times greater chances of, or like you can say 1 out of 2 of these women will eventually become a frank type 2 diabetic. तो ये कभी हाथ से उनको खोने नहीं देना कि हाँ भी ठीक है, हो गया है. उसमें बहुत सारे, like I said, modifiable, non-modifiable, family history, risk factors, they were all there. And PCOS. PCOS, again, it's not, I cannot tell you one test to diagnose PCOS. And it's a syndrome in which we need certain clinical features to make a diagnosis. But once the diagnosis of PCOS is made, think of it for a lifetime. Because initially they present to a dermatologist, later they may present to an endocrinologist, diabetologist, and lifelong PCOS girls who later on become women, they have a lot of all the metabolic disorders can manifest in them. There's more chances of endometrial carcinoma as well. So it's a lifelong stress. They have more stress, they have more of depression, the quality of life is much less. All PCOS women are not obese. There can be lean PCOS, but the majority are obese. So all of them should be counseled to lose weight, and that is the most important aspect of treatment. Apart from the drugs which are available, vazan kam karna is the crux of the matter. So as far as gestational diabetes is concerned, like I said, the weight of the baby is very important. but pre-pregnancy counseling. So all young girls or women, married, unmarried, or planning to get married sooner or later, they should be made aware of the fact that, because Shalini said, even as early as 14 weeks, but now we should, what is recommended is right from the beginning, as soon as pregnancy is confirmed and she does not know that she has diabetes, glucose tolerance test should be done. And of course, if she knows that she has diabetes, it is paramount that the blood glucose is very, very well controlled. The A1C should be 6.5 or less. So that is very important. So pre-pregnancy counseling, like you said, if you educate a woman, you educate a family. That is what Mahatma Gandhi said, isn't it? So
That's
pre-pregnancy
absolutely true, ma'am.
counseling, and then right through pregnancy. If we take care of the babies, the young girls who are going to be mothers or women to mothers, then if they have a healthy baby, okay, लड़का होगा लड़की होगी, पैदा तो माँ ही करेगी ना. So this is transgenerational. If we can take care of our gestational diabetics or women, if we have healthy women conceiving, diabetes or no diabetes, then you have a healthy baby, a healthy girl, a healthy woman, and then we do have a normal baby. Because women who have gestational diabetes, उनके बच्चों में आगे जाके ओबेसिटी, मतलब मोटापा, ब्लड प्रेशर, वही सब प्रॉब्लम्स होने के बहुत ज्यादा चांसेस होते हैं.
ये बहुत सही बात बताई आपने मैम.
यस,
एंड
पूर्वी यहाँ
आई
पे
थिंक
ना इस बात को हाईलाइट हमें जरूर करना चाहिए, बिकॉज वी हैव लॉट ऑफ विमेन लॉग्ड इन. सो जैसे
yes,
मैम
and
ने
एक
बोला
question
कि
है, just I'll
gestation,
just read out that question
या
by Sarika Sahu. She's
Mhm.
asking if all ANC should go for screening or only the high risk group. तो the question is directed to Dr. Shalini. तो आप इसको address कीजिए please.
पूर्वी मैं यही बात कर रही थी कि पहली चीज, लेट मी जस्ट कंप्लीट व्हाट आई वाज सेइंग. जेस्टेशनल डायबिटीज में सबसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर है, 2 जनरेशंस इन्वॉल्व है. एक तो जो लेडी खुद प्रेग्नेंट है, उसका डायबिटीज डेवलप करने का रिस्क बहुत ज्यादा है, बिकॉज ये नहीं है कि आपने जो भी उसको केयर बोली है वो केयर सिर्फ प्रेगनेंसी तक लिमिटेड है और जैसे ही डिलीवरी हुई तो आप सब खाना पीना शुरू कर दो, वेट पुट ऑन कर लो. ये गलत है, क्योंकि इट हैज बीन सीन कि विद इन द नेक्स्ट 5 to 10 years ऑफ देयर डिलीवरी they have a very high risk of developing type 2 diabetes. और फिर एक बार परमानेंट डायबिटीज आ गई तो फिर नहीं जाएगी. तो आई ऑलवेज टेल माय पेशेंट कि ये आपकी अलार्म की घंटी बज गई है कि अभी तो आपका शायद डायबिटीज टेम्पररी है, डिलीवरी के बाद कम हो जाएगा, रिमिशन में चला जाएगा, लेकिन अगर आप प्रिकॉशंस ऑब्जर्व नहीं करेंगे, वेट कम नहीं करेंगे, अपनी डाइट का ध्यान नहीं रखेंगे, तो इवेंचुअली जब आप डायबिटिक टर्न होंगे तो वो एक लाइफ लॉन्ग आप डायबिटिक टर्न हो जाएंगे. एंड दूसरा, जैसे हम अपने वेद पुराण में हम क्या कहते हैं कि जो गर्भ में संस्कार बेबी को मिल जाता है ना, वो उसकी फ्यूचर लाइफ को अफेक्ट करता है. एंड ये एक बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्ट है. जेस्टेशनल डायबिटीज में भी अगर आपके शुगर हाई हैं और कंट्रोल नहीं किए तो आपके बेबी को जो हाई शुगर का एक्सपोजर हो रहा है ना आपके गर्भ में, आपके वूम्ब में, तो उस बेबी के मेटाबॉलिज्म में ऐसे चेंजेस आ जाते हैं कि ये बेबी जब पैदा होते हैं ना तो बड़े गोलू मोलू पैदा होते हैं. हम बड़े खुश हो जाते हैं कि अरे बड़ा मोटू मोटू गोलू मोलू बेबी है, बट ये बच्चे का फ्यूचर में डायबिटीज रिस्क बहुत बढ़ जाता है, मोटा होने का रिस्क बहुत बढ़ जाता है. सो ओबेसिटी एंड डायबिटीज एंड ऑल दीज मेटाबॉलिक प्रॉब्लम्स आर मच इंक्रीज्ड in children of uncontrolled diabetic mothers.
Absolutely,
It is
you nailed
very
it.
important.
Yes.
It is so important that gestational diabetes में सिर्फ आपने सिर्फ during your pregnancy अपनी शुगर नहीं संभालनी है, आपने डिलीवरी के बाद भी अपना खाना पीना बहुत कंट्रोल करना है. Coming back to the question that I was asked, हमारे जो, जैसे मैंने कहा था ना कि हम इंडियंस by virtue of our genes ही हम में gestational diabetes मोर ऑलमोस्ट 11 टाइम्स ज्यादा है कंपेयर टू दी वाइट विमेन. तो इसलिए जो हमारी इंडिया में जो डिप्सी गाइडलाइंस है, डायबिटीज इन प्रेगनेंसी स्टडी ग्रुप इंडिया, विच इज ऑल्सो एंडोर्स्ड बाय द आरएसएसडीआई भी यही कहती है कि जैसे ही आपको पता चले कि आप प्रेग्नेंट हैं, तो चाहे आपको तो आपको प्री कंसेप्शन काउंसलिंग एंड प्लान करके प्रेगनेंसी करनी है, बट अगर आप बिल्कुल नॉर्मल चल रही थी, अब आप प्रेग्नेंट हुई हैं, तो फर्स्ट विजिट पे आपका एक ग्लूकोज टॉलरेंस टेस्ट करना बहुत जरूरी है, बिकॉज बहुत सारी मात्रा में ऐसी लेडीज हैं जो प्री डायबिटिक होती हैं, और जैसे ही आपने कंसीव किया आपकी शुगर्स आप जब डायग्नोज कर लेते हैं, बिकॉज जो फर्स्ट 6 to 8 वीक्स ऑफ प्रेगनेंसी है वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं, वो टाइम होता है जब बेबी की ऑर्गन डेवलपमेंट हो रही होती है। तो ऐसे टाइम में अगर आपकी शुगर बढ़ी हुई है तो बेबी में कॉन्जेनाइटल डिफेक्ट्स आ सकते हैं, बेबी उसी वक्त बहुत सारी एबनॉर्मेलिटीज आ सकती हैं। तो इसलिए सबसे पहले जैसे ही आपने कंसीव किया उसी वक्त एक जीटीटी होना चाहिए, तो पता चल जाए कि कोई पुरानी डायबिटीज या प्री डायबिटीज तो नहीं है, सो दैट आप फ्यूचर के लिए पूरे 9 महीने के लिए सावधान हो जाएंगी अगर कोई टेंडेंसी आ रही है। उसके बाद से
Absolutely.
आपका उसके बाद 14 to 16 weeks में again, you know, second trimester, you can again do a GTT and see whether that tendency is there, and still if it is normal then again a GTT, or maybe just 140, you know, just that 75
Right.
gram glucose to be given, you know, the DIPSI guidelines, which is the Indian guidelines, is
So
very simple.
that's the clincher, Dr. Shalini, and I
So,
think I would just like to re-emphasize to our audience that I think the DIPSI guidelines are very comprehensive. There has been a lot of debate on various fronts. Uh, हर एक कॉन्फ्रेंस में हर एक ग्रुप अपनी गाइडलाइंस दिखाते हैं और फिर उस पे डिस्कशन होता है, लेकिन ये डिप्सी गाइडलाइंस एंडोर्स्ड बाय RSSDI, आल्सो बाय मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ हेल्थ एंड फैमिली वेलफेयर। सो आई थिंक ये हमारे ऑडियंस के लिए इम्पोर्टेंट होगा कि जो लोग इवन स्पेशलाइज कंसल्टेंट्स को नहीं दिखा पा रहे हैं, या जिनके खाली गायनेक्स देख रहे हैं, या इवन प्राइमरी केयर फिजिशियंस देख रहे हैं, उनके लिए भी ये इम्पोर्टेंट है कि आप वो गाइडलाइन एक बार पढ़ लीजिए। बहुत ही सिंपल है, बहुत ही एक्सप्लेनेटरी है, और आप उसको फॉलो करेंगे तो यू विल नॉट बी रॉन्ग, यू विल बी गाइडिंग द पेशेंट वेल. So that's an important point that you both brought about.
So
Very, very
apart from the fact that diabetes perceived may be lifelong, but like I said, about 20 times more, they're more prone to heart disease as well. If you've had gestational diabetes, you need to be very careful. It's almost 3 times more common, 2 times more chances of getting hypertension. And like Shalini and I both agree, this transgenerational impact, and we should not lose that golden window. This is the
correct.
time to actually to curb the pandemic. So if we are going to look after our girl child, we know how poorly they
Absolutely.
are fed in the urban, the rural areas. Not talking of urban, but and you've heard of the Sustainable Development Goals.
Yes.
WHO, the Sustainable Development Goals, one of the most important goals. But what they say is going to transform our lives. So what is relevant today is cleanliness, sanitation, good health and well-being. Okay, but gender equality in the Sustainable Development Goals, I feel gender equality needs a very, very strong focus, and to no poverty and no hunger. I mean,
And
I don't know how we are going to ever manage that, but if we can achieve that for at least all of us, but the girl child especially needs to be looked after.
I think that's a fantastic point, and I think we are in the right milieu for that, and we have the right champions voicing their thoughts on this, because I think even the Prime Minister started the campaign with Swachh Bharat, and I think so we are somewhere, all our thinking is well aligned, and it's only proven in the last 3 months with the COVID pandemic that all these were so important. We were not probably realizing the practical impact of these, of washing hands, or just maintaining clean surroundings. But I think it's just highlighted these goals even more. So that's very, very, that's a again a very pertinent point brought about
I
by
think
you.
I really admire what Modi said. Beti Padhao, Beti Bachao. He had come up
Bachao.
with that, remember?
Yes,
So
that
that, like you
too.
said,
Yes,
education is going to change everything.
yes.
And
And we need
like I
more
said,
champions. We are
yeah, the
not
girl child
feminists.
you have to. Yeah, yeah,
Yes, yes. We're
absolutely.
not political, we are not feminists, but we want more champions to bring about, an impactful change in the thinking of that has gone on for generations.
And we
So
see
with that,
infant mortality is very high in India.
yes,
47 out of 1,000 is really big. Bangladesh is better, 37. Sri Lanka is only 10. I'm talking of out of 1,000. So unless we control the maternal mortality as well, then women will continue to have more children, which we know is not good for them. And anemia and with gestational diabetes, we know the chance of miscarriage and malformed babies are there if it's not well controlled, apart from the other factors. But I think we must really focus on the girl child, even
right.
today, even today.
Right. And I'm going to shift gears a bit again from this kind of a public health message. First, we discuss specifics of GDM or gestational diabetes, and then the public health part of it or socio-economic factors impacting that. I आपने मैम एक बहुत अच्छी बात बोली that and that point you made about heart disease. So that heart disease is also common in women. So I would invite thoughts from both of you with respect to how does it manifest in women, and if you think if you remember, recall the Go Red campaign in the US, which started a few years ago, and the astonishing findings that we had from that campaign also, and how it actually started our focus on women and diabetes. Would love your thoughts on that, ma'am and Shalini both.
So Go Red was started off in 2004. It's an international campaign to not only for the control, for the prevention, and for the diagnosis. So the American Heart Association has started off this active campaign. Like I said, because heart disease is many, many more times, 4 to 5 times more common in women, especially if they have diabetes. So the whole focus was that. And what they do is they have reserved Friday the first Friday of February every year, in which you're supposed to wear red and promote this very very actively heart to protect the heart campaign, which is called Go Red campaign. So this is how they started off. As far as manifestation is concerned, in women it manifests with profound fatigue. As we know that especially in diabetes it may be very silent, but apart from the well-known symptoms like chest pain, even dyspnea or lower abdominal pain or pain radiating to the characteristic sites, whether it's the left arm, right arm, jaw, sometimes very remote places also, like in the I like I said, in the jaw also it can radiate. But
Right.
it's yeah. So apart from that, the most important thing is profound fatigue, and you may not have any of the typical features. So with diabetes, quite often it is silent, and then we record an electrocardiograph or we have a 2D echocardiogram. So then we realize that the patient has underlying heart disease.
Okay, great. Shalini, do you think that maybe RSSDI is the right forum or right organization to take something like this up in Indian women also?
Absolutely, absolutely, Purvi, through the RSSDI, let the message be very clear that we are very much into women's health, girls' health, adolescent children, lot of activities related to that. We have a separate type 1 group where we're focusing on the type 1s. I can see a lot of questions coming in on type
Yeah.
1s and pregnancy. So
And
RSSDI is
if I
one
can just
forum.
read out that
Yeah.
question, it's from Akshata Domal. And thank you,
Uh-huh.
Akshata, for joining us today. She's asking if, what are the can a type 1 diabetic give birth to a child? And what will the complications for type 1 diabetic women related to pregnancy would be? I think that's a
Absolutely,
fantastic
Akshata.
question
It's
because
yes,
she's
yes,
voicing the insecurities that type
yes.
1 diabetics
And
often
and
have.
no, Purvi, let me tell you, this is very real. I have actually had to counsel parents of a type 1 girl to get her married. I had this patient whose parents said that इसकी हम शादी नहीं करेंगे because इसको तो diabetes है, तो इसका तो आगे तो हम कुछ कर नहीं पाएंगे. So let's just clear this myth. Irrespective of whether you are type 1 diabetic or type 2 diabetic, diabetes per se is not a contraindication to pregnancy. Only thing is, yes, you have to maintain very tight sugar levels before you plan a pregnancy if you are a diabetic. Like Dr. Sarita said, an HbA1c of 6% or at least 6.5% is a must. Plus, if you are a type 1 diabetic, so obviously you need to just screen for those complications before you conceive. Because things like diabetic retinopathy, which is a very common complication that can occur in uncontrolled type 1 diabetes. So there, if you already have some amount of retinopathy in the background, due to the pregnancy, due to the hormones and the changes that come during pregnancy, retinopathy can worsen. So it is very important that if you are type 1 diabetic, you can definitely go ahead and have a baby, but you need to plan the baby. So be in touch with your doctor, see that your sugar control is very, very tight. You need to have very optimal glycemic control. See to it that your complication profile is clear, and then you can go ahead. If you have achieved a target HbA1c of 6% or maximum 6.5%, you can go ahead, plan a pregnancy, and of course there will be insulin dose adjustment that will be required in pregnancy. It has been shown that when you get pregnant and you are type 1 diabetic, early on your insulin doses may come down a little because you become more insulin sensitive just in that early trimesters, and then eventually as the insulin resistance also starts setting in, your insulin doses need to go up. So frequent monitoring of glucose control, as an glucometer at home, you can check your sugar. Immediately you can go ahead and plan your pregnancy and have a smooth pregnancy. Let me also tell here that if you are diabetic, it does not mean that you will have to undergo a cesarean section only for delivery. Many patients, a lot of my GDM patients, a lot of my patients who are pregnant and have diabetes often say कि मैम अब हमने कंसीव किया है अगर, तो क्या हमारी नॉर्मल डिलीवरी नहीं हो सकती है. सो दिस इज अनदर मिथ कि अगर डायबिटीज है तो नॉर्मल डिलीवरी नहीं होगा, सिर्फ सिजेरियन होगा. ऐसा नहीं होता है. इट जस्ट डिपेंड्स ऑन योर असेसमेंट. आपके प्रेगनेंसी में कोई ऐसे कॉम्प्लिकेशंस ना हो जिस वजह से आपको सिजेरियन की जरूरत पड़े. तो अगर आपकी डायबिटीज है और डायबिटीज वेल कंट्रोल्ड है, तो डेफिनेटली योर प्रेगनेंसी कैन गो ऑन टिल फुल टर्म एंड यू कैन अगेन हैव नॉर्मल लेबर एंड अ नॉर्मल डिलीवरी ऑल्सो. सो बॉटम लाइन यहाँ पर क्या है कि अपनी शुगर्स का ख्याल रखना है, अपनी डाइट का ख्याल रखना है. So you can plan pregnancy.
That's very, very reassuring, Dr. Shalini. Very reassuring.
Yes. So absolutely everything can be managed. All is you have to be aware and you have to be in touch with your doctors so that your sugars are managed smoothly all through pregnancy.
Correct. So thank you for that, Dr. Shalini. With that, I just want to go back to Dr. Bajaj. Uh, often patients tell us that insulin to मैं ले ही नहीं सकती हूँ, especially the pregnant women, because they're so mollycoddled by the family also. There's so much fuss about them that they when you suddenly break the news diabetes hai plus we may start you on insulin, that doesn't go very well with them, and we all have experienced that. So ma'am, what do you think, and what is the role, very quickly, not in too much of technical detail because we have
Yeah, not
patients also logged in, but
yeah.
what are your thoughts on metformin in pregnancy, and again what is that clincher, what do you tell them about insulin, how do you convince them कि क्योंकि किसी
See,
को इंसुलिन नहीं
I
लेनी होती
think,
है.
see, like we agreed that a lot of women are conceiving late and it's a very precious baby. So I think this is the time that you can convince them. Is the time most of them, I mean, in all these years, I think at one odd, two odd, I mean, maybe I could count them on my fingertips. Women who have said, no, I do not, categorically do not want to take insulin. Or sometimes it happens that the gynecologist has already started metformin and the blood glucose is actually well controlled, even with the 7 point self monitoring of blood glucose. So that is so metformin has been approved. Even the FIGO guidelines, it's there. It is recommended now. You can give it in pregnancy, not only standalone, but if there is tremendous insulin resistance, you're finding that the insulin doses are skyrocketing. So just to keep that under check, you can also give metformin along with insulin. So you can give that. That's the only oral anti-diabetic or glucose lowering agent that is approved during pregnancy.
Great. Wonderful. Um, Ma'am, I often wonder when I see you, your energy is so infectious. And, I remember last year at Aro when we met, it was 10 in the night at dinner. You had just arrived from Prayagraj. You were full of energy, ma'am. What is the mantra of your fitness?
um, I think, everybody says कि 2 minute में सब हो जाता है, isn't it? But I think we should keep it. 2 minute में noodles भी बन जाते हैं, 2 minute wait करो, 2 minute, isn't it? So the 2 minutes, I think the 2 minute myth should be busted, and we should now talk of 30 plus 30 if possible. And if you cannot devote even 30 minutes of physical activity for your health, I think then it's going to be too tough. So if you got regularity, whatever you do, you should do it regularly. And the timing is important. So the right time, whether it's your meals, whether it's your exercise, you must do at least 30 minutes. And it can be anything. COVID times, non-COVID times, you can do any sort of exercise. It doesn't have to be running. Of course, if you're running, it's ideal. I can give you an example. During lockdown, one of my colleagues, within a 22-foot hole, daily she was running 10 kilometers. Daily in that hole. They were not even allowed to step out because there was a COVID case and they couldn't even step out of the flat, or even stepping out. But she continued her run during all those months. So anything is possible. So you can skip, you can walk, you can jog, you can run, you can do Zumba, you can do online exercises, you can do your whatever you want, you can do. 30 minutes. And what
You
did I
said
want
it,
the other
ma'am.
30 minutes for? The other 30 minutes is for mental. You can do
Absolutely.
pranayam, you can do meditation, you can do more, some mental health exercise. And the next 30 is don't sit. If you're 30 minutes, you should not sit for more than 30 minutes at a time. So just if you, now the mantra these days is 30. So after 30, get up. Even like, see, when we're doing a webinar, I know it's a bit awkward. Maybe we can stand and do it. When you're talking on the
Yes.
phone, you can continue to walk, isn't it? There are many ways of incorporating. If you have stairs in your house, use the stairs. Screen time, there's whatever it is in between, watching TV, even if you're doing household chores, you can put on your earphones, you can dance, you can jog, you can, make it, watching TV also, you can exercise. So somehow the other, you just have to get in those 30 minutes of exercise, even if you're not a mental, if you don't want to do those mental health exercise, but at least 30 minutes
So it's really a
regularly.
question of excuses, and we need to get over those excuses and manage to get those 30 minutes of
I
physical.
can give you a ready list. I have a ready list of excuses. And remember what Dr. Ambedkar said, that I measure the progress in the community by the degree of progress that women have made. So I think that's a very, very important message, both from somebody who was there and now, of course, our Prime Minister, and thankfully he's all for women, isn't it? So that's very important.
Great, ma'am. I wanted to take this discussion, on a lighter mode, but we have some pending questions, and I'll just read them out. It's from Mr. Baudhayam DM. he's asking, I think he's a doctor, so he's asking if a pre-GDM patient presents to you in the first trimester of pregnancy, how will you approach the patient in terms of counseling regarding risk to the mother? So I think Shalini, you elaborated on that, but if in short, if you can just
Yes.
address this quickly. He
No, I
wants
See,
think the
doctor, when
last
a
part.
pre-GDM is coming to you, yes, yes. So it's very important that you counsel her on the importance of glycemic control right in the beginning of pregnancy, because lysis is taking place, the organs are being developed. So at this time, if the sugars are not controlled, the baby can have congenital anomalies. So it is very important that you immediately see what is her level of glycemic control, what is her HbA1c. The nice UK guidelines actually go on and say that if the HbA1c at presentation is more than 10%, you discuss termination of pregnancy, because at those kind of HbA1cs, technically the chances of congenital anomalies are very high. So, but of course, you can always take a calculated risk, discuss with the obstetrician, discuss with the patient, try and intensify the glycemic control immediately, put her on insulin, put her on a strict medical nutrition therapy, which is diet prescribed by a registered nutritionist.
so a
So the
holistic
diet
approach
also is
would be
important. So
most
yes,
important for that
warn
patient.
her about the risk, warn her about the risk to the baby, warn her about the risk of the pregnancy getting into complications. So you have to take a calculated decision, a calculated risk on whether you want to continue with a high risk pregnancy at such a high HbA1c, or whether you want to really terminate and maybe plan a pregnancy with proper preconception care.
So I agree with all that, and I think that cannot be more emphasized. That counseling, making the patient aware of what all needs to go into having a successful pregnancy in view of all these risk factors is very important. So with that, I go to the last question from Dr. Sonali Bhozane. Uh, she says that one of her type 1 diabetic patients was having the thought that they need to search for another diabetic patient as a matrimonial purposes. So, ma'am, if you also can throw some light on that. What are your thoughts on that? Does a type 1 diabetic
No,
need to
this is,
marry another diabetic?
see, if as far as the what will happen in the baby, that is the burning question that needs to be addressed. The chances of if you have a type 1 diabetic father are about 6%. If it's a type 1 diabetic mother, it's barely about 2 to 3%. So even if you have they're both type 1 diabetic, the chances are not very much more. So in case like two of my type 1 diabetics, they were used to stand outside the OPD, and they sort of met up with each other and they married each other. So I have at least 3 couples who are type 1 diabetics married, well, God willed it. So they met outside in the OPD, and they're doing very well. They have about at least 1 or 2 children, and they're doing extremely well. I think I would not prevent it at all. But of course, if we can't say what happens later. But if both are type 2 diabetic, type 2 I'm talking, both mother and father, then the chances are almost 90%. It's very high. So that is
But Purvi, yes.
that should be
But
avoided,
Purvi,
of course.
yes, absolutely. So if a type 1 is marrying a type 1, of course, the risk does go up a little. That is there. It's a calculated risk that they take. But then that does not really make it compulsory that if you are type 1, you have to marry a type 1 only.
Hmm.
you know so the whole point is you can marry anybody for that matter, just because you're, it's not that your kundali has to match ki main type 1 hu to mere ko bhi type 1 se hi shadi karna hai. So it's
Correct.
basically the wavelength that has to match when you're thinking of a marriage, and not the fact that you're diabetic you know
So I
so
think this was again a very important thing brought up by Sonali, and she's
Very
a
nice.
colleague
Very
from
nice question.
UDF, and I
Yeah,
hope this
yeah.
addresses her query. Uh, and thank you. I think you all proved the point that we are not just doctors; we are even matchmakers when it comes to it. So
absolutely.
yes, and I with that I
Yeah.
want to share some pictures that we have. I know we are running out of time, but I think another maybe 2-3 minutes we can extend to, I want to just talk about the public health, outreach that you both have and the impact made. So, yes, so that's ma'am's foundation, Diabetes Education Foundation, Prayagraj, registered almost 20 years ago. And wow, ma'am, you still look the same. So this was in 2001,
Oh,
insulin
that's
education,
so kind.
uh, various rallies held for diabetes education forum in Allahabad. I can see a lot of engagement there as well. And ma'am, what is this? What picture is
You
this?
see, we went to different cities as well, neighboring cities and outside the state. So this is in Sultanpur, where we are inaugurating a camp in
Oh,
Sultanpur. So it's a
okay, so
neighboring city
public
in
health
UP.
camps as well. And then
Yes, yes,
I
it's a
think a
public
few
health.
years later, diabetes walks also, which you have been organizing. I think leading by example, like Shalini mentioned, that you
This
have
is,
been leading
yeah,
it.
this is the park I was inviting you all to. It's a 10-acre park bang opposite my house, where, of course, we organized that walk.
Wonderful. And we'll definitely visit you when we can, ma'am. So again, these are some
Yeah.
public health
So we did
camps
this
which were
camp in Sydney.
right. And also cannot
Then we did a
re-emphasize
yoga
the
camp.
importance of yoga. Yes. And we just celebrated the International Yoga Day.
Yes,
So our Prime Minister
International
would be
Yoga
happy
Day.
to see you are still leading that as well. And
Yeah. Then
again, this
this is the
is
camp we
John.
did in Jaunpur, again, which is nearby. Another
Yes.
city which is nearby.
Yes. And I
And
can
then we did
see,
this was the WDF, World Diabetes Federation. Along with Dr. Noop Mishra, we did a study of 12,000 school children. So these are the school children who are participating in a rally on World Diabetes Day. And this is
yes,
another
ma'am,
public
very,
school.
very, very relevant. And I think we need to catch them young and nip these metabolic disorders right in the teenage and
Yeah, can you see
adolescence.
these circles?
So
Like
very
we're supposed to
relevant.
make these circles blue. So this is one
This
of the, not
formation,
one, I
it
think
is,
we're making several. Yeah, yeah.
this formation is so interesting, ma'am.
So we
And
started this in 2001. Before that, we used to do intermittent. Now then we started doing regular quarterly camps. This is in another school within the city. Again, for World Diabetes Day, we are making these circles, and they're all wearing those T-shirts with the
it,
logo of
it's just
World
so
Diabetes
beautiful.
Day.
It's captured beautifully, ma'am, and I must compliment you for taking, I mean, making more and more people aware of, diabetes and where it can lead. So yeah.
So this is another camp that we did in which I'm talking, of course, in English, and I was invited here as during my presidentship in the West Bengal chapter to give a talk. I spoke about public education, which I have done a lot of work in, and I think this is one of us very proud. I felt very proud when IDF announced that year when I was president. The
Right.
theme for World Diabetes Day was our right, women, our right to a healthy future. So
Yes,
we
ma'am.
did
I
a
remember talking to you just before 14th November and, taking tips for the program we wanted to hold at our center also. So, yes, I remember it was, I think it was exactly what you were thinking and they came up with that theme. So, fantastic.
so yeah. So this is the one, World Diabetes Day. This is the Madhumeh Cup. I
Yeah.
publish
So
a
that's,
magazine. It's a
yeah. I
quarterly
wanted to
magazine.
ask you about
It
this
goes
that,
out.
so
This
ये
goes out
हिंदी
to
में
about
है?
8,000 members every quarter. So we are doing quarterly programs regularly since 2001. And of course, while I was president, I published a monograph on diabetes. It was focusing on Indian women. Then gestational diabetes, I prepared a slide deck. Then diabetes and tuberculosis. And we haven't spoken anything about it, but tuberculosis has also taken an upsurge. So apart from the position statements, We had, and then of course with Banshi, the public education part, we have established in villages. In villages, he headed that campaign, and both of us took it forward. So I think
Fantastic.
Shalini's pictures are coming in. So in villages, we have established little offices where education is going on, where testing at the ground level is continuing.
And the whole idea of sharing this on this platform today is, ma'am, not only that we idolize you and we appreciate everything done in this field, but we also want to inspire young physicians, younger healthcare providers, and also RSSDI members to take ideas and inspiration from these various activities that you have also undertaken, and take them forward in their regional places, because I think with 8,000 members across the country, we have tremendous outreach, and we must leverage on the manpower that we have and the expertise that we have to make this diabetes free. So yeah, that's the whole idea. So Shalini, I would like to show your pictures and take us through this whole collection. I know you've been involved in a lot of public health awareness uh,
Yes,
initiatives as
Purvi,
well.
I
What
think,
is
like
it?
I said, Sarita ma'am is our idol and she leads by example. So, all the public health
Right.
programs. So this is a program that we held in Connaught Place, if I remember, on World Diabetes Day last year. So this is the Diabetes Fighters Trust, which is basically all the type 1 diabetics under one roof. So this was a public awareness program. This is another diabetes summit. You can see Mrs. Minakshi Lekhi, member of
Yes.
parliament from BJP. So this was a discussion, a diabetes summit, which was, I think, by Government of India and ASSOCHAM. So where we had a discussion on issues on diabetes and women and the way forward on how to go about it. And incidentally,
It
my
all
clinic
starts
is
with
in her
making people aware. So yes,
so my clinic is in her area and she is very keen on women's health and diabetes. So that is why, we have been interacting on various platforms for public health screening, different camps under her aegis as well. So, she's one lady who spearheads the women's health program as well in her area, her constituency. So we have interacted. So this was one of those interactions. This
that's
is
great to
again,
get like-minded, influencers on board to make that change. So, what was this about?
this is Minister Javadekar, Prakash Javadekar. I think this was another diabetes awareness award. So all the programs that we keep conducting in public domain, creating awareness on diabetes, screening people for diabetes. Like I said, India has a huge pre-diabetes burden. So, you need to really go out to the public and tell them, make them aware. So many times, we're doing a camp and you just do a glucometer test and the patient says, Mujhe, madam, diabetes nahi hai, and the sugars are 300 and 400. He
Absolutely,
doesn't
that's
even know about it. And so many times when, people are already into complications when you diagnose diabetes. So that is why it is very important to really go out and let the people know that this is a devil that you really have to prevent, because getting into diabetes, not knowing about diabetes, if you are diabetic, landing up in complications, then life becomes very difficult. So,
absolutely well
these are
said.
few of the
And I think you're like,
consequences.
I
Yes,
can see you at RSSDI 2017, which was also
yes,
uh, ma'am was there, and then I think this is
yeah.
a fellowship.
Oh,
I
yes,
can
this
see
is the
ma'am also on
RSSDI
stage.
fellowship. Yes,
This
yes,
is
yes,
a
yes.
picture to cherish forever. Uh,
Absolutely, such an honor, such an honor, such an endorsement of your
yes,
efforts in the RSSDI. So,
fantastic. I can see many past presidents here, and
yes, yes,
real
yes,
memorable
yes.
achievements. So this again is an important
Oh,
one
yes.
because with school
Schoolgirls,
girls, as I
schoolgirls.
can see. Yeah.
Purvi, this is very special to me. This is my own school, St. Thomas Girls School. I come from a girls' school, and I have been
Giving back
going
to
from school to
society.
school in Delhi, creating awareness on women's health, girls' health. So this was one of those programs which I actually went to my own school and did. In Delhi, I have been visiting a lot of schools, talking to schoolgirls, talking to teenagers, not only in terms of diabetes, but overall adolescent health, adolescent issues. So this was one of those awareness programs that we did in my own school. So it's very, very close to my heart.
Great. And this is, like I said, this is the age group we want to target, make them aware and
Absolutely.
fit
These
in the
are the
market.
girls who are the future mothers and the future mother-in-laws, you know. So very,
Okay, so
very, this is,
this is again a patient education
yes, yes.
initiative,
These
I
are again,
see.
this is my group of type ones and their parents, and those interactions that we keep having on experience sharing, because in the peer group they all open up. So it's very important, the peer support. As a doctor, when I am saying something has a different impact, but
Yes.
when a
But
mother
I
of a type 1 interacts with a mother of a type 1, they mutually support each other. So that's very important.
Right. But I just see this changing a bit, and I think we will be, and this is again, after this, I'll just make a small comment. And here, I think Shalini has also organized a diabetes walk.
Diabetes
Uh,
walks, diabetes awareness walks, and all those programs. So I think public health education is a very important part of being a doctor who's treating diabetes. It's not
Absolutely.
only patient who comes to you in the clinic who needs your help and who needs your guidance. It's the patients who do not even know that they have diabetes or that they can develop diabetes who need your help. So I think it's part of our public responsibility, part of our social responsibility, not only as doctors, but most important as RSSBI members, to create that awareness in the public, to be
I couldn't
aware of
agree more with
all
you.
these things.
But I just have one comment that, now, obviously with COVID times and change in our outlook, I think these kind of gatherings will definitely not take place
Take a
very
back
soon.
seat. Yeah.
Yes, and we will have to connect with patients virtually, like we are here on this platform today. And I think this is going to be the way forward for all of us. So with that, I want to really thank Dr. Banshi Sabu once again and Dr. Sanjay for steering this, getting us started, having this whole idea conceptualized for this amazing outreach initiative. And my equal thanks to Dr. Sarita Bajaj Madam and Dr. Shalini Jaggi for sparing time, along with Dr. Amit Gupta also for being the absolutely solid backbone of this program. And with that, I would like Dr. Banshi Sabu to give some concluding remarks.
Thank you.
So first and foremost
Thank you,
thing,
Purvi.
hello.
Yes, sir, you're
We
audible.
can hear
Yes, sir.
you. We can hear
तो
you.
सबसे पहले तो बड़ी बात यह है कि आपका सबका धन्यवाद तो खूब खूब है ही, लेकिन आरएसएसडीआई के बारे में मैं सभी को बताना चाहूंगा कि ये हिंदुस्तान की सबसे बड़ी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है जिसमें डॉक्टर्स को डायबिटीज में इंटरेस्ट है, उनका बहुत बड़ा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है। इस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में आज हम 8000 डॉक्टर हैं और सभी जने खूब काम कर रहे हैं। हो सकता है लोगों को ऐसा लगे कि भाई डॉक्टरों की ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है और सोशल मीडिया पर क्या कर रही है, तो हम डॉक्टरों की ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का काम है एजुकेशन करना, एजुकेट हमारे अदर डॉक्टर्स को करना और उन्हीं से हमारे पेशेंटों का अच्छे से अच्छा उनका ट्रीटमेंट हो सके, उसके लिए खूब प्रयत्न करना। इस सोसाइटी का नाम रिसर्च है, इसलिए हम हिंदुस्तान से क्या नई रिसर्च और क्या नया दे सके हमारे पेशेंटों के लिए, और जो बाहर हो रहा है उससे अच्छे से अच्छा हम क्या लेके हमारे पेशेंटों को दे सके, वो हमारा आरएसएसडीए का काम है। लेकिन इसके साथ में हमने 20 चैप्टर बना रखे हैं और उसका सभी चैप्टर का आउटरीच है जो डायरेक्ट पेशेंट को भी उनको एक्टिवली इन्वॉल्व करता है। हम हर स्टेट के अंदर वर्ल्ड डायबिटीज डे के दिन 14 नवंबर को खूब बड़ी रैली करते हैं, वॉक रखते हैं, दौड़ रखते हैं, डायबिटीज की प्रतियोगिता कराते हैं, टाइप 1 बच्चों के लिए प्रोग्राम किए जाते हैं। टाइप 1 बच्चों को पूरे हिंदुस्तान के अंदर 1 लाख से ज़्यादा बच्चे होंगे। काफ़ी बच्चों को जिनको इंसुलिन नहीं मिल पाती है, गरीब है, ग्लूकोज मीटर नहीं मिलते हैं। इवन इस लॉकडाउन सिचुएशन के अंदर भी हमने सभी को एक हेल्पलाइन नंबर भेजा और कई बच्चे ऐसे हुए कि जिनके पेरेंट्स को इंसुलिन नहीं मिल पाया और उन्होंने उस हेल्पलाइन का यूज करके अपने बच्चों के लिए या टाइप 1 किड्स जिनके पास इंसुलिन की व्यवस्था नहीं हो सकी, उन लोगों को एक्चुअली मिल सका। तो आरएसएसडीआई एक्टिवली समाज के लिए एक्टिव इन्वॉल्वमेंट है और हमारा मेन ध्येय ये है कि डायबिटीज की सुनामी को कैसे रोका जा सके। जिन लोगों को डायबिटीज हो गया है उनको डायबिटीज के कॉम्प्लिकेशन से कैसे रोके, और जिनको डायबिटीज ही नहीं हुआ उनको डायबिटीज ही नहीं हो, उसके ऊपर है। आज की ये जो डायबिटीज बाइट्स थी हमारी RSSDI सोशल मीडिया की तरफ से, डायबिटीज इन वुमेन, उसका हमने आज एक भाग लिया था, जिसके अंदर हमारे फर्स्ट लेडी प्रेसिडेंट डॉक्टर सरिता बजाज मैडम थे, आज हमारी दीदी, और डॉक्टर शालिनी जग्गी हमारी प्रिय बहन, वो हमारे साथ थी। और उसको पूर्वी ने बहुत ही सुंदर ढंग से जो 1 घंटे के अंदर हम सबको इसके बारे में बताया कि जेस्टेशनल डायबिटीज क्या है, PCOD क्या है, डायबिटीज एंड ओबेसिटी क्या है। और ये पैंडेमिक कोविड पैंडेमिक से भी बड़ा है। कोविड के अंदर तो हमको पता है कि ये जो एक्यूट इन्फेक्शन हो रहा है और हमको इसके साथ कैसे सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग रखते हुए, कुछ ही चीज़ों का ध्यान रखते हुए हम इसको अवॉइड कर सकते हैं। लेकिन डायबिटीज और ओबेसिटी को रोकने के लिए तो ये एजुकेशन का प्रोसेस कंटिन्यूअस में चालू रखना पड़ेगा। और इसीलिए आज हमने ये एक सोशल मीडिया के माध्यम के द्वारा हम हजारों लाखों लोगों को पहुंचने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। अमित का बहुत बड़ा सपोर्ट है इस प्रोग्राम के लिए। डॉक्टर अमित गुप्ता के कारण आज हमने ये सोशल मीडिया के प्रोग्राम के थ्रू करीबन नहीं करते, मेरे ख्याल से हम 20 से 30 हजार लोगों की ओर डायरेक्ट रीच कर पाए हैं। और इसके द्वारा और कई तरह के सवाल जो आएंगे उसको हर वीक, हर हमेशा एक पास्ट प्रेसिडेंट को जो एक्टिवली हमारे साथ इन्वॉल्व रहे हैं, क्योंकि 50 साल से पुरानी हमारी RSSDI है, जिसके अंदर आज हम 30 से 35 अभी भी पास्ट प्रेसिडेंट बहुत एक्टिव है, एक्टिवली इन्वॉल्व है, खूब काम कर रहे हैं, और उनकी हमारे को प्रेरणा मिलती रहती है। और उनके मार्गदर्शन में यदि हम ये प्रोग्राम चला सके, और साथ में एक एग्जीक्यूटिव मेंबर हमारा RSSDI का भी जो करंट हमारी बॉडी है उसमें से इन्वॉल्व करके अमित और पूर्वी और शालिनी इसको आगे चलाएंगे, ताकि हर वीक हम डायबिटीज के बारे में ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा बात कर सके, डायबिटीज को कैसे रोका जा सके। और आपके कोई भी सवाल हो तो इस माध्यम से आप हमारे को पूछ सकते हैं डायरेक्टली। डॉक्टर अमित, पूर्वी, डॉक्टर शालिनी आपको ज़रूर से जवाब देंगे। और उसके अलावा भी हमारा एक हेल्पलाइन नंबर भी है 24 आवर्स, एंड प्लस हमारी जो हेल्पलाइन जो इंसुलिन के लिए और ग्लूकोज मीटर और स्ट्रिप्स के लिए है, उसको भी हमने वाइडली पब्लिसाइज किया है, ताकि किसी को कोई भी तकलीफ हो तो वो हमको डायरेक्ट कांटेक्ट कर सके। वंस अगेन थैंक्स टू डॉक्टर सरिता बजाज मैडम, डॉक्टर शालिनी, डॉक्टर पूर्वी एंड डॉक्टर अमित फॉर दिस फैंटास्टिक प्रोग्राम and fantastic initiative done by you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Audience, we will be back on this
Thank you,
platform on
Amit.
July
Thank you,
2nd.
Shalini.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Very
ma'am.
much.
Corona
Bye-bye.
Namaskar.
We'll be taking up
Bye.
all your
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you
Bye,
so
sir.
much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Enjoyed.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.
लाइव बंद कर दे बेटा।